You guys are kind of going backwards at the worst possible time with 3 losses in 8 days. How do you play yourself out of this?
Yeah, it's not a time to overthink it, right? We did well. I thought the first half was one of our best performances of the season. But ultimately, it's cutting edge. We said it at halftime. It's cutting edge to score goals. The chances we had at the beginning of the game in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, these got to be goals. Because this is the time where you leave these things on the table, good teams will punish you, and we ultimately have to start turning the screw for ourselves to give ourselves a little bit more space to defend deeper, to be stronger, to fight harder. But ultimately, it's a team that I felt like didn't have much in the game until we gave them things, right? It's disappointing. No other way around it. We have to turn around, and we have another game at home against San Jose, and it's a must-win. It's a final.
Adrian says he feels like you guys have played well. It's not a matter of you playing poorly. Does that make it more encouraging, or does it make it more frustrating? Like knowing that you guys are right there in all these matches.
Yeah, we can talk about performance, but this is the business end, man. It's the business end, and the business end is about results. And I think for us, it's now taking the performance and turning it into a win. That's all that matters right now.
Any revelations about closing out the lead again?
Revelations? No. I mean, this one is, we score in the 48th minute or 50th minute. And they bring in their quote-unquote starters, and I think we just didn't deal with penalty box defending particularly well. So you can score, but ultimately we found that we haven't carried games well. So it's going back to the drawing board and understanding what we need to do to be a team that can be hard to beat once we're winning.
How are the conditions?
Fine.
You guys seem to get behind their back line more than a handful of times
Yeah.
tonight. Was it just a matter of finishing at that point?
Yeah, I think if you, again, like I was telling John, the first half in terms of turning them around, getting Sungbin running, getting Temu running, getting Bungie running behind, Hassani even, those were great moments. But now, are we understanding and are we taking the time to slow down and be clinical in some of these moments? Because ultimately, that's the difference. We put 1 or 2 of those away in the first half, the game maybe looks a little bit different.
You guys have had a lot of success on the road this year, not much success at home.
Yeah.
What's different between how you play at home versus how you play on the road?
Look, I think it's understanding what we are as a team. In many of those away games, we've done a really good job of defending deep and counterattacking to win the game and suffering through that. At home, the impetus is on us, and I don't think we've carried games particularly well. That's the reality, and that's why I think our home form has been a little bit more poor. But ultimately, we have 4 games left. So regardless if it's home or away, it's 2-2. We have to figure out a way to get points.
Is there a point? Sorry.
Go.
Is there a point at which you just throw it away and say we're going to defend deep and counterattack at home as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of that, but again, like we were saying, the performance with the ball tonight was fine, right? So it's one of those situations where we got to raise our level in every moment. Attacking transition, defensive transition, defending, and attacking. The 4 phases.
How loud is the clock ticking here with every passing home game and not getting points out of it?
Yeah, Jerry, look, I mean, I think they're finals. At the end of the day, it's a final. We got to take it one at a time. San Jose is the next opponent. It has to be 3 points, or else we can confidently say it's going to be very, very difficult to make the playoffs.
Just a matter of finishing. Is that really kind of the bottom line in this game?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of chances. Just barely missed out on a couple cutbacks, and obviously we paid the price.
How loud is the clock ticking here on every home game now that goes by without getting points out of?
At this point, it's not just a home game. It's every game for the rest of the season. We need to start getting results if we want to make the playoffs.
Adrian was talking about in there about it doesn't feel like you guys have played poorly at all. So is it what kind of needs to happen for you guys to get over the hump and come away with 3 points instead of just 1 or 0?
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, if you looked back at how we started the season, we did well to get the results. We grinded them out, scored, and then locked it up. And right now I feel like we're, outplaying some of the teams, and we just can't get the results that, we need to get or that we deserve. So we have a full week break, and it's time to really push, Once we score, this is like a final. So we got to do whatever to get 3 points next weekend. So that's the goal.
all these home games, it feels like it's just sort of a drumbeat of saying we got to finish, we just got to finish our chances. How much pressure is building on the guys who are playing up front to get some goals on the scoreboard?
I mean, I'm not sure. I know I've been playing up there at on the wing. I wouldn't say I feel the pressure of scoring the goals, but I feel like once the game's over, I feel like now we have pressure, because we let another one slip away. And obviously when you play at home, you play a little bit more positive, you're on more the front foot, the other team sits back in, and it just is really disappointing when you go up in the game, you're playing well, and then you get nothing from it. So, I mean, every player, wants to play in those high-pressure moments, so now it's time to show what we're made of.
So feel like the same thing over and over again, unable to hold on to a lead?
A little bit, but if there's one positive, it's that, we're playing well, we're getting the chances. It's not like we're not creating chances. And so now it's about putting it away, and then once we put it away, have a collective effort on defense to make sure that, we don't give the team any silly goals. So.
How do you prevent frustration from kind of taking over, knowing that you guys are playing well enough to win, but not getting the results? How do you not let the frustration take over?
I think we have enough experienced players that have been in this kind of situation before, where it's towards the end of the season and, we need to start getting results in order to make the playoffs or like a cup tournament. We've done pretty decent in some of the cup tournaments, so a lot of players here have been in high-pressure situations, so it's just about staying composed and taking one game at a time.